Hey guys, this is Dr. Sandy with another exciting video for you and your family and friends. Today we're going to be talking about the top 5 tips for aging well. I think you would agree with me if you're watching this video. All of us as we get older want to be in the best health we can be. We want good quality of life. Why? Well, just so we can also enjoy day-to-day living. Being in pain, being sick is not fun, obviously, for anyone. But what I also believe is that healthy people change the world. When you're healthy, you can contribute, you can be there for others, you can be productive, you can make the world a better place for yourself and other people. But if you're not healthy, it's hard to contribute, it's hard to make the world a better place. And as I share this information with you, I have to follow this advice. I'm filming this. I am 49 on this video. Next year I'm turning 50. So I really have to make sure that how am I going to take care of myself? How am I going to make sure that I have my health? So I have options. I think that's another powerful concept we should spend a moment on, that if you're healthy, you have options. And I think as you start to lose your health, lose your freedom, lose your independence, your options become limited. But when you're healthy, you can say, hey, I choose to work for this long. I choose to travel. I choose to do whatever. But when you are unwell, if you're sick, if you're in pain and suffering, your options become limited. Maybe you are forced into retirement. You can't work as long as you wanted to. Maybe you're at a point where financially you're stable, but you're so unwell, you can't have that dream vacation you've always waited for. You can't do those things. And I want to make sure as I get older, I can work as long as I choose to. I can be there for my family. I want to hang out with my friends. I want that, so I have to come up with a plan, and I want to share that plan with you, and I want you to implement this information. So let's make sure as we all get older, we're doing everything in our power to make sure we have a good quality of life, because you deserve the best. So number one, I would say you need to have a vision or a plan. I think a lot of times we're kind of like, yeah, let's just see what happens. Let's just wing it. And let's just hope for the best. And I think that's really not a plan at all. So I think the first thing you have to step back and say is, okay, what is the vision? So I see myself being healthy, independent. I want to do what I want, when I want. I want to be able to work out for a long time. Like, what does looking older look like for you? What do you want to be able to do? So I think we should start with a vision. Where am I headed? What kind of person do I want to be? I want to be healthy and I want to be strong. How would that person think? How would that person act? I think if we come from that place, good things will obviously happen. So we have to have a plan and vision. And you want to start big, like, oh yeah, I'm healthy and strong. And then you want to work down to the details and say, okay, how would this person live? How would they exercise? What are the things they would be doing to take care of themselves? And I think what we should be doing is we should look at our parents. And if your parents were super healthy for a long time, obviously you can learn from that. If you love your parents a lot and you're like, wow, I remember that as they were getting older, they might have had some health challenges. I think be there for your parents, but learn from your parents and say, man, I think if they did maybe a few things differently as they got older, maybe the outcome would have been different. And then we should learn from that. And I hope my kids look at me and they go, okay, dad did certain things. And every generation should get better and better. And they can say, okay, dad did some things. I'll learn from my dad. And then I'm going to try to be even better. I think that's how every generation is just moving forward. So we should come from that place. So we should think big picture and then get down to the details. What would my sleep schedule look like? How often would I be exercising? What are the things we can do? So let's get into some more specifics. So the big one I'm going to talk about as well, that as you get older, if you want good quality of life, chiropractic should be a part of that. And as I make this video, man, honestly, I will speak my truth and you can say that makes sense, or you might say, okay, I can hear what Dr. Sandy's saying, I'll pick and choose, but I'm going to put everything on the table, but I'm going to speak from my heart what I believe will make you healthy. So chiropractic. Now, some people will use chiropractic as a treatment. So when I have the neck pain, the back pain, when I have numbness in my arm, I will go to the chiropractor, get that treated. I feel better, things are good. I'll wait till I fall apart, and then once again, I will take care of it. Now, that is up to you. Obviously, it's your body. And I'll be honest, I have some patients who will take care of the body, they get better, and they're like, okay, let me wait till I fall apart and I'll come back to see you. And maybe they say that, maybe it's implied, whatever. And I will be there for them, I'll support them, but a better system would be to say, okay, let's get you out of this and then let's maintain it. Because if you keep waiting for the body to get really unwell and you try to repair it, at a certain point it'll work, and at a certain point that damage, maybe you can't fix it. It just, the body gives you so many chances, and if it keeps happening again and again, it gets harder to fix, it may take longer to fix, and even if you fix it, it doesn't go back to where it was because the body's just had too many hits. It's just taken too much damage. So I think a more proactive way to look at the body is to say, okay, maybe there's a health issue. I'll get out of that health issue and then maintain it. Because the big thing in chiropractic we want to do is make sure the brain is able to send messages freely through the nerve system. Because what does the brain do? It controls the whole show. It's running the whole show, and it talks from brain to body through your nerve system. And that nerve system is helping you move. It's helping the organs to function. Every system in the body is regulated by the nerve system. So as chiropractors, what we're saying is that let's obviously support that system. Let's get you stronger. And once you're stronger, let's maintain that so you can have a good quality of life. And one thing I think, one concern as people get older, they keep thinking arthritis, stiffness in the joints. Well, imagine if there's stiffness or locking in the spine. Not only is that going to cause, maybe tenderness, pain, inflammation, you're starting to shut down the messages going into the body. You're starting to shut off messages going to all the major organ systems. That can affect your breathing, your energy levels. Movement gets affected. Power gets affected because you are affecting the nerve system. So chiropractors are saying, let's align that system. Let's have the brain speak freely to the body through the nerve system. And once we open those nerve channels, let's keep it open. And the great thing I like about chiropractic, in the beginning, it may be more frequent, but as you stabilize the body, as you maintain the body, the visits become wider apart because the patient's also participating. They're working with their lifestyle. And that people who have the better lifestyles can have visits that are more far apart. If people don't take care of their lifestyles, they need to be tighter, but it's a better way to live. And having that regular chiropractic is good for the brain. It's good for the body. Messages are going through. We know, if we look at anatomy and physiology, that the brain and body controls everything. Shouldn't we give it attention? Shouldn't we optimize that system to make sure the nerves are flowing so you feel good, but you function good? The muscles are working well, organs are working well, you're thinking clearly, the body's moving freely. That's the benefit of regular chiropractic, so you can have a good quality of life. So I would say taking care of the spine is critical. There's different stages throughout your life, but especially as you're getting older, we want to take care of this system. We want you to feel your best, function your best, and not just go from crisis to crisis. But of course, that's always up to you, the patient, whatever you decide from there. So that would be critical. What are other things we should be doing? So we should be having movement. We need that on a regular basis. Stretching, yoga, exercising, and whatever you are comfortable with. A general rule of thumb I like to tell my patients is that you should feel refreshed. You should feel as much as you can. And I know it's tough sometimes, but looking forward to that exercise, making it part of your lifestyle. Maybe, wherever you choose to work out, obviously that's up to you, but listening to music, working out by yourself, if you want to watch a video, if you want to be in a group setting, whatever works for you, by having a regular movement in your life is critical, whatever that looks like, but you're refreshed. Maybe it's one day working out at home, the other day you're riding a bike, whatever that looks like, but having regular movement is critical. Maybe it's dancing, whatever works for you. And when I talk about movement and exercise, another thing I want to stress to you as well is working out two major systems, which is brain and body. So what does working out the brain look like? It's actually literally reading books, learning something new, maybe learning a new way to cook something, playing cards, whatever that is, but using the brain. I believe the brain is a muscle and it needs to be used. Watching TV, and I get it, watching movies, I mean, that's fun. I like to do that, but I think as we get older, nourishing the brain, keeping those neurons firing, learning maybe a new language, keeping active with the brain, reading, learning, growing, challenging yourself, doing puzzles, things like that. We need to keep this thing firing. And it's so interesting. The more I look at the body, it's so fascinating. The body wants to be challenged. It wants to be used, obviously within limits, and we're going to listen to our body. But the more we push into the body, the more we challenge the body appropriately and safely, it comes back and gets better and stronger. I mean, how cool is that? It's a very interesting system. So that would be the brain and body. So that exercise, the movement, doing cardio. I would recommend as you get older, whatever you can tolerate, some weight training would be absolutely valuable for sure. As we get older, focusing more on, and man, I know we read it everywhere. I've mentioned it as well, but we want to make sure we're eating a lot of high quality greens. We want quality protein. We want quality water. Having greens, I would say that's a big part of the diet. Fruits are also powerful. Quality protein, proteins are obviously building blocks for the body. Hydration for the joints, hydration for the brain, hydration for the nerve system, very critical. So we want to be doing those things. So we got to look at diet. Obviously alcohol, it's a stressor on the body. Sugary products, a stressor on the body. Are we ever going to have those again? It might be hard to avoid completely, but as long as what you're mostly eating, 80-20 rule, 80% is the healthier foods, smaller portions I would advocate. Doing the best you can, and then saying, yeah, sometimes I'll have sweets. Someone may choose to have alcohol. I get that kind of stuff, but just saying that it's not what I mostly do. I'm mostly eating healthy. I'm trying to eat the best foods. I'm trying to avoid the sugary stuff, during the weekdays, trying to be more healthy and mindful, have a little bit of, maybe you have dessert on the weekend or an ice cream on the weekend. I get that. But trying to be more on the healthy side is critical. Drinking our water on a regular basis, daily basis. Filtered water, I obviously recommend. Another thing I think that's critical as you get older is your relationships. You need to, as best you can, healthy relationships with your family. And sometimes you've been blessed, maybe you have some great people in your family. Sometimes it can be challenging. So as much as you can, maybe learning communication skills to say, how do we maximize this? How can we talk better? How can we treat each other better? And then having a group of friends, people you can just talk to. And I can tell you from personal experience, to laugh with your friends, to watch, I don't know, a movie with your friends, to, just have that good time with your friends is so powerful. And I got to tell you, it's so nice that, whatever's happened in the world, people are reconnecting, and just seeing people feels fantastic. It's such a nice feeling. And I really believe there's so many therapeutic benefits. And it's something powerful when you can enjoy someone's company. Maybe you can share something bothering you and be there for them. And then if they have something, you're there for them, and laugh and joke and reflect on life. And it's a great feeling. So I really believe having a good quality of life, you need to have good quality relationships. And now with technology, you can message people, you can call people, but man, it's just amazing having good relationships in your life. And I think that's a big part of how we age. And then those are the top 5. And then I'm going to say I'm going to call it a bonus, but I would say it's a big part of it. I always like to, give more. It's spiritual practice. And this will be different for everyone. You might be listening to this and, it's prayer. For someone else, it might be meditation. For someone else, it might be just getting up and just practicing being grateful. We know these things are powerful. And for some people, it might be I'll get up in the morning and I'll write down 3 things I'm so grateful for. Or before you go to bed, writing that down. That might be your spiritual practice. That gets you grounded. That gets you centered. Maybe practicing deep breathing, reading something inspirational that moves you. It really sets the tone. And I just think your whole day goes on a different path. And if we can do that again and again and again, and I think that's also the secret here, is that we should do things consistently. There is a time for crisis management. I understand we need, maybe something happens, God forbid, health-wise, we need the drugs and surgery. But what I also believe is that if we can do these things consistently, if we can have those vision and plans for our life, if we are taking care of the brain and nerve system through chiropractic, if we're exercising the brain and body, if we're eating well, we have good relationships, and we're doing these things consistently, I believe we'll have consistent good health. But if we're just waiting for things to get bad, we do a whole bunch of stuff, we get out of it and wait for the next crisis, I don't think that's going to give us the best quality of life. And I think there'll be a higher chance of the drugs and surgery. So let's put the power back into us. Let's be proactive and do things on the regular where we take care of our body. That's the secret, the consistency. If you work out for a month and never work out again, I guess there's some value, but it's the consistency. Taking care of the brain and the nerve system through regular chiropractic, regular exercise, regular eating well, keeping in touch with family and friends, having those relationships, that will reward you with an amazing quality of life, in my opinion. And again, I'll be open with you. You can do all of it. I think if you even do one of these things, it'll only help you. And that's my wish for you and your family and friends, that you do have an amazing quality of life and an amazing life. So I don't know why I'm getting emotional, but anyway, I really do hope this helps. As always, please like, share, and subscribe. I'll be here again with another video, always there to provide value, to educate you, and God bless you. Dr. Sandy, signing off.